How's it going, everyone? Today we got some huge news. OpenAI is planning to release their web browser in challenge to Google Chrome. OpenAI is close to releasing an AI powered web browser that will challenge Alphabet's market dominating Google Chrome. Three people familiar with the matter told Reuters. So, this was a leak. The browser is slated to launch in the coming weeks, three of the people said, and aims to use artificial intelligence to fundamentally change how consumers browse the web. It will give OpenAI more direct access to a cornerstone of Google's success, which is user data. If adopted by the 500 million weekly active users of ChatGPT, OpenAI's browser could put pressure on a key component of rival Google's ad money spigot. Chrome is an important pillar of Alphabet's ad business, which makes up nearly three-quarters of its revenue, as Chrome provides user information to help Alphabet target ads more effectively and profitably, and also gives Google a way to route search traffic to its own engine by default. OpenAI's browser is designed to keep some user interactions within a ChatGPT like native chat interface instead of clicking through to websites. Two of the sources said the browser is part of a broader strategy by OpenAI to weave its services across the personal and work lives of consumers. One of the sources said OpenAI declined to comment, and the sources declined to be identified because they are not authorized to speak publicly on the matter. So this was definitely a leak, which is really interesting. You could see this afternoon that it looks around the time that this article may have broke. Google sold off very hard. It was around $178 and it sold down all the way to about 175. And I do think this was related to this news article coming out. So that is very concerning for a lot of Google shareholders. This was huge news for sure. But if we look at the overall leaderboard for large language models, Google Gemini is actually in the lead for a lot of these metrics. It's best in reasoning. It's not beating in these other metrics, but you can also see best overall humanities last exam. Gemini wins that. Best in adaptive reasoning. Gemini wins that. It's behind in some of these other metrics as well. You can see that it's a little bit behind in terms of math scores. Twitter's Grok is actually beating in that category, which is interesting. But overall, Google Gemini is a very competitive overall in the large language model area. But as far as what the markets expect for the best AI model by the end of 2025, they're giving a 48% chance to Google being the best in AI. But OpenAI has actually increased a good bit recently. It's at 27% currently, but it was as low as 21%. So the odds for OpenAI to actually it be the best language model by the end of the year has improved. So it's interesting to see how this race is shaping up in the large language model space. I do think that if OpenAI does come out with a web browser, that is some huge concern for Google executives. This is going to be a huge competition between these two companies to decide who is supreme in the large language model industry. If you got value from the video, consider subscribing. Y'all have a good one.